Hey Cancer, I'm Empress Rose. Welcome to your reading. These are, holy moly, general readings, so we take what works, we leave what doesn't. If I don't catch your wavelength on this one, check your other major placements being Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and any placement that you are currently excited about and fascinated with. I'm starting with an intuitive vibe from my monster deck here of Moonology and Work Your Light cards, and then we'll move to a more traditional tarot spread. And if we have time, we will do a wild Kuan thing. All right, I think that's enough. We got a little paragraph here, I think. This card has shown up all of the time. And same with this card and this card. This is really funny. We're already getting repeat cards for this week. Also, let me know what you think of my new lighting situation. I'm trying something new. So we'll figure out, we may never figure it out. We may just continuously experiment with lighting here. All right. So I have, confidence is your key to success. New moon in Leo. You are starting off on something and you need to start off on a very confident foot. Understanding what you're bringing to the situation, what you have to offer, and that you have to offer a lot to this situation. Okay. You're also full moon in Sagittarius, looking at the bigger picture. You want to make sure you're not getting bogged down in details. You may be feeling like, oh, there's this one little detail about you that's not quite perfect. But this is like, overall, you're perfect. Overall, you're just right for this. Don't let those little details get you hung up on things of just not being quite perfect or quite the way you think you should be, or somebody else thinks you should be. But just looking overall at the bigger picture, maybe even the bigger picture of life in general. Looking up at those stars and seeing your place in the world, always helpful for looking at the bigger picture. And then we also have confidence is your key to success. And then we have full moon in Gemini. The answers you need are coming. I think this is also talking about communication and there being some sort of magic or power in your communication. Truth needing to be shared. But looking at the bigger picture and the answers you need are coming. So be confident in something, because I don't know that confidence is your key to success. You need to know that answers are coming. For whatever you're afraid of or whatever you're worried you're not adequate for, answers are coming. You're going to know more, and it's all going to fit together somehow. And so you need to play your part with some amount of confidence. And then I find this fascinating. Trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? So this is, again, the answers you need are coming. That means you're operating a little bit in the dark about something, and that you don't know all of the things that you need to know right now, but you still have to keep moving forward and keep going forward. So you are headed towards a destination. There's just sort of this confusing no man's land of water and sand. It reminds me of getting stranded at the beach on one side of some sort of like tidal situation where you're like, wait a minute, everything's sort of shifting here. And now I can't figure out how to get back to where I came from. So, but you will. You're going to get there. You've got your destination here. Is just kind of a weird little, you're going to have to go step by step, figuring out among probably shifting sands and changing circumstances about how to get to where you're going. I think also looking at the bigger picture will be better, so that when you come to a dead end or when you come to something that doesn't work, you're not just like, oh, well, that didn't work. Time to quit. It's like, well, there's an overall picture, and okay, that route got closed to you. That's okay. There's other routes available and other things we can do, including calling in the Coast Guard. So don't worry about it. You've got a couple different ways to go. There's a bigger picture. Where are you going overall? If you hit a dead end, not a big deal. And you might end up finding out eventually why you hit that dead end and why that route didn't work, even though you don't know that right now. So having confidence that you're going to get, oh, I love this, trusting your path and having confidence. This is basically the same thing. You're going to get there. You're going to get to your destination. You've got to keep your eye on the prize, keep a bigger picture. Something's not working out right now, but you don't know why. You don't know why yet. birthing a new age, dreaming a new world into being, birthing new creations. So there's some sort of like, I think you're learning a new way to do things, or a new route. The route that you would normally take to get where you want to go doesn't work right now. So, I mean, everything's pretty topsy-turvy right now in the world. Things that we thought were going to work aren't working anymore. So we've got to figure out new ways to do things. And that's a new route. So that's where looking at the bigger picture is going to come in handy as sort of things get blocked and you have to find a different way. You're not to give up. You're supposed to look at because we have confidence. You may be feeling like giving up right now, but you need to have confidence in the fact that you are going to get there. You are going, but you might even have to invent a whole new route. Build a new road. You might have to build the railroad to this place. Like, so yeah, there's a lot of like, rest assured in the final outcome. Looking at the bigger picture, being confident that you're going to get there, knowing that you don't know stuff right now. Stuff isn't being shared with you right now, but you are going to find out. You are going to get there. It's going to be a little bit of a different path. You're going to have to feel your way there. You may have to reinvent how you get to where you want to go. This goal that you have, you may have to create almost a whole new way of getting there, a whole new path, because the path that you would normally take that seems really obvious is blocked and shifting. Everything's shifting right now. I think that's really fascinating about this point in time, is that things are shifting so much that we're all being called to rely more on our intuition on a day-to-day rather than our 5-year plan, our 10-year plan about where we were going to go and what we were going to do. Everything's really shifting around. So we're all having to find new routes. I love it because it makes us all have to get more intuitive and less logical about things and more intuiting our way there, but trusting that you're going to get there. That's the same as having confidence that you're going to get there. You're going to get there. It's just, you have to keep your eye on the bigger picture, keep your eye on the prize, not the route. So yeah, and oftentimes we can be like to take as an example, if you have, there's one person, you really want to be in a loving relationship and there's just one person, but that person, what if that person's like an alcoholic and can't love you back and has a bunch of issues that they never dealt with, even though they might be your soulmate? On some level, in some way, they're not going to be able to be a functional part of your life right now until they get that figured out, and no one controls that but them. So then we go broader. We look at the bigger picture. What do you want? You would like to be in a healthy relationship with somebody else. You could even be broader than that, just being able to be happy in relationship with yourself. But if you want a relationship, just open it up, make it less specific. Not this person, not this. I want to go to my grandma's house, but I'm not going to take that road because it's closed. So you have to take a different route. Or you go to just some other old lady's house. That metaphor really broke down there. Although I did when I wasn't able to travel to see my grandmother, I found an old lady that I connected with in my own town, and we had a very lovely friendship until the inevitable happened. All right. So Cancer, here's your past, present, inner landscape. What's at issue? Your environment, to-do list, possible outcome. All right. Oh, interesting. Fascinating combination of cards. We'll see. It could be a different story. It could be the same thing here. In your recent past, something has required all of your inner strength to be able to deal with it. You had to do some sort of battle within, battle with patience almost, like just waiting for something to happen or having to just control yourself in a situation where either some sort of passion, either anger or something else was calling you. You wanted to do something, but you had to wrestle an inner demon basically to the ground. It took all of your strength, all of your power to wrestle that inner demon to the ground. You've been successful so far. Those inner demons, though, they don't always go to sleep and die. They come back from time to time. We get better. We work those muscles that we use fighting our inner demons, and we get better. and at it, and it's quicker and easier as we go, but it's still difficult and still requires inner strength. So there's been something you've had to deal with that has really required a lot of inner strength to get a grip on something, get something under control yourself, hold yourself back from saying what's really on your mind or something like that, right? And then in your current situation, we have 10 of Pentacles. This is the maximum amount of happiness or wealth or whatever that a situation is going to be able to give you. This is the most. This is the mostest. Something is as fulfilling as it's going to get. I don't want to say it's completely fulfilling because I read this card as fulfilling as it gets. See, this farm is dilapidated and used up. And we've got a treasure chest, but it's time to move on. That's what these feet are saying. It's time to move on from something. Something's closing out. Some part of your life, you've gotten as much happiness, satisfaction, success as you were going to get. It's as successful as it's going to get, and there will come a time when it's time to move on from that situation. You've gotten everything you can. Take the money and go. Like, you got what you wanted out of it. So there's some sort of situation here, possibly a work situation, time, money, effort, energy, anything in the physical world. School, in my opinion, comes under that has reached its maximum level of fulfillment. There's not much more for you there, not much more to be harvested, not much more to be used. It's coming to an end, it's closing up, and it's time to move on. That's what this card in this deck means. It's interesting to kind of combine like the different interpretations that a deck can bring forward with what I think as the traditional interpretation. Traditional interpretation of 10 of Pentacles is maximum fulfillment, but it's also the full moon or the end of a cycle, and then it's time to move on and start someplace else. So in your inner landscape you have, oh wow, yeah, supporting this reading right here of that 10 of Pentacles, we have the 8 of Pentacles. We have something in your inner landscape that's weighed very heavily on you, some sort of ending and a time to move on. You're seeing something here that it's time to move on. Again, we got that in 10 of Pentacles and we have that in 8 of Cups. Something's time to move on. It's weighed very heavily on you. It is some sort of ending. You are noticing though that there might be some, it's almost like it weighs very heavily on you. And traditionally, this 8 of Cups card is about going in search of the other 2 cups, going in search of more fulfillment. But this one really comes across as a heaviness, an ending that's very much on your mind, something that's very heavy for you to carry, weighs you down a bit. You are starting to see that there might be another way of going about this or another way of doing this. Oh yeah, trust your path. Something in front of you is blocked in the traditional way, but you're going to find another route to satisfaction, to happiness, or something that's sort of shining to you as a possibility, an alternate possibility of what you've been experiencing, which has been fine up to a point, but now you're starting to think that, okay, if that's maximum happiness, maximum the level of what I'm going to achieve there, if I'm at my maximum there, then I need to move forward and find something else, because that's not quite as fulfilling as I was hoping it would be. So there's something else, something more for you, getting a new idea. Shifting, I believe, like shifting your tactics, shifting your vision of what you want. You still want to get to this place, but I think you have to shift your tactics of how you get there, because what you've used so far has not been satisfying and it's as fulfilling as it's going to get, and it's not as fulfilling as you want it to be. In your, what's the issue here is 3 of Cups reverse. This can be issues with friendship, issues with sharing with other people, not being able to hang out with your friends, not sharing with other people, not having some sort of disruption of friendship. The 3 of Cups in reverse could also be some sort of, I hate to say it because it's very specific and it's a weird accusation to bring up randomly because of a tarot reading, but it could be some sort of cheating vibe or something like that. Someone sharing a cup with somebody that is not on the approved sharing a cup list in a way that couples come up with, and and negotiate with each other. But there's some sort of break in friendship. Friendship issues here, an inability to share, an inability, I mean, we have this 8 of Cups, this like ending, and it's almost like this 3 of Cups is an ending of a friendship, a friend breakup, a friend group breaking up, or just not being functional right now, not being able to hang out with friends right now. Oh, wow. Yeah. And then in your environment is this 4 of Cups here. Oh my God. No, 4 of Swords. Thank goodness. But Cups, we have 3 Cup cards here really talking about emotions and feelings. And then with the Strength card here, I'm seeing just like this whole situation is requiring a lot of inner strength for you. And so this 4 of Swords, this is nap time. This is sort of a break being imposed on you externally. This could be getting laid off, getting fired, getting sick and having to stay home. This is something in your environment that has you very depleted. Oh yeah, you're very depleted. This is coming right underneath this Strength card here. You've already used up all your strength and you've just got 1 candle left burning here. So there's a real sense of depletion, of taking a time out. There's several things where taking a time out, not where you thought you were going, you're not going. Or you are going there, but not taking the route. 4 is resting, being depleted, but also it's about regrouping, planning a new line of attack to get what you want, to get this more satisfaction. There's something in your environment, in your circumstances that's asking you, that's telling you that it's time to think of another way to go about doing something. Oh my gosh, we also have this one, dreaming a new world into being. But I also believe that this card is about finding new ways to do things, finding new routes. So there's something in your environment that's saying, pause this, we've got to regroup, we've got to find a new way to do this. You've got several things where the situation is untenable, it's not satisfying anymore. And you're dreaming, you're wanting to find a new way of doing things because this just, it's not working out with your relationships the way you're doing things right now. This is regrouping, finding a new way. We've got that with birthing a new age, finding a new way to do something. This could be sort of bringing in a new era of your life, a new way of interacting with the world, with your problems, with your difficulties. Your to-do list here is 2 of Cups. So the friend group isn't working. Just pick one kindred spirit for now and share with somebody. I'm not necessarily, normally this feels like a love card, and it could really be. We were talking about relationships earlier and getting more general about our loving relationships and just wanting to share love with somebody and being a little less hung up on one person and more focusing on the quality of the relationship, not necessarily the specific body that is. So I believe love comes to us from the divine, and it's a blessing to be able to be a vessel for that love, for the divine to love somebody else through me. Feels like a real privilege for me that love belongs to the divine and belongs to all of us. And if I get to be a vessel for a while in somebody's life and bring them that love, that feels very good to me. I feel very connected to spirit when I'm used as a vessel for that love. So that's why I feel like less specificity about like a specific person, looking more at the big picture. What do you want? Do you want to be a vessel for divine love, to come into somebody's life and touch them and remind them that they are infinitely loved? And so if that's what you want, well, we've got a lot of routes to that, because whatever route you've picked to share this love isn't necessarily working right now, but you still are being called to share love. And normally I would say this is a love card. I mean, this is a love card. This is a deep emotional sharing, being that divine vessel of love for someone, to show them, you know, healthy, nicely boundaried love to somebody, and a deep sharing, a deep emotional sharing. So your strength is very depleted. I feel like you need to come up with a different way. And this is saying that different way is sharing with just Maybe not the friend group, but just one other person sharing that love, sharing your minds, sharing your parts of what you think and what you feel, and a deep sharing with a kindred spirit. That's what you need. Maybe the group isn't for you. Maybe the group dynamic isn't for you right now, and maybe it's just time to share something very specific with somebody that you love. And just, yeah, there's just this card's so beautiful, this deep sharing, this touching each other's hearts with the sharing of emotion. So maybe what didn't work with the friend group is you were withholding, you didn't want to share. And it's time to start sharing part of yourself. Letting the people that you love know that you love them. And then you have Queen of Pentacles. This is such a fascinating reading because we have all these cups, these emotions, and then we have these pentacles here referencing time and work, and this is getting to work. Maybe you need to share, unload something, let's vent a little, or share something that's on your heart. But then here's what happens next, or here's where you're going. This is ambition, ambitiously climbing the ladder. Maybe, you know, the way you've been doing something hasn't been working, and you need to talk it out and share it with somebody and regroup. And then regrouping gives you a rejuvenation for the journey, for the work ahead. There's a lot of work ahead. There's a lot that needs to be harvested. This Queen of Pentacles is here, and gender doesn't matter here. And she's climbing the corporate ladder, or starting to really take her success seriously, finding a new way to find. So this Ten of Pentacles was very fulfilling, and then we go to Queen of Pentacles. It says fulfilling, you know, you've gotten what you can out of the way that you do things now. You've gotten everything that you can out of that way. It's time to shift the way. I think it's time to bring more heart and passion into how you're doing something. And then you really start focusing on the fruits of your labors and getting those and claiming those fruits of your labors, getting to work. It's very fascinating. There's like some sort of emotional component that needs to come in order for you to get where you want to go. But you might be thinking it's just work, but there's something emotional that needs to happen here, an emotional sharing that sort of clears the way for you to find a new way of doing something and achieving your goal. Oh, I love this one too. Coming with this Two of Cups here. Oh, it's about connection. Be guided now. Allow yourself to be guided. The guide cannot take the steps for you. That is your job, but the guide can show you the way. It is up to you if you choose to take it, whether you tread carefully, dance, or run along that sacred pathway towards the loving arms of the Holy Mother. She is always there to help you. Love that, being really supported. I like this. The guide cannot take the steps for you. That is your job, but the guide can show you the way. So this is trusting your path. And it's bringing up the word your a little more specifically. Your path. It's your path. You're responsible for it. You have a goal. You're responsible for getting to that goal. No one's going to usher you to that goal or make that goal happen for you. And you have to figure out the way towards it. And it's shifting, it's changing. There's something about shifting sands here, and you have to shift with them in order to get your goal, because you're not, it's like as far as you've gotten with the skills you've used right now, you're not very satisfied with that. So you have to figure out another way of doing something. This does happen. This does involve some sort of deep sharing with somebody, but then you're released, or not released, but then it's like something comes into focus and you start climbing towards your goal, your path. You're trusting. Can you see that? Again, she's going to crawl on her path towards her goal here. It's a different way of doing something than you're used to. All right. I hope that was helpful for you, Cancer. Thank you so much for your likes and your subscribes and your comments. I very much appreciate them, and I hope you have a wonderful week.